I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like...
In that case, I'll go order for us first.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula.
And if it...
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just with...
Oh, true. Very true.
Huh? Paimon did... Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but...
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever...
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished...
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues... To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authority... It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is... Which is exactly why the Spina di... Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak.
I see. So, I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to...
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular.
Well, would you consider some...
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't...
Could you suggest something a little...
All right, here's another. Find a way... I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy...
That might work, but that's not really...
Valid point. All right, no more joking around. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels...
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, why don't we give it a try after...
Huh? Paimon,
was this your drink?
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fontaine anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll...
Yeah, we're... Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so...
Okay.
Hey, Navia! What?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
What?
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine... in any case, I would...
See ya!
Time to go.
There aren't many people around anymore.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you here? Ugh.
Vache?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you... No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Wait. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land? Yes, that is what I was once. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water. I also remember, no matter, but now... No! Our reunion the thought of me gives him no succor. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look. Perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did. Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees... I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go. Farewell, then.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navi is outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do
I followed you. It seemed to me...
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is...
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety.
Do not!
Sorry, Demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Cloran.
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the Master... Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest... And what about these Gardamex?
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or well...
What? Your point being that they're out of speed?
Yes.
I will continue...
I do not think that they'll strike again.
Right. I I suppose that's the best.
Demoiselle, I believe that...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorant who came out to save us too!
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had. As such, we're still partners. But
It will take 50 years for me.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Ros...
all right.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off.
Huh? Really? Paimon contribute?
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases that the Fanta tasted kinda salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it...
So the Fanta had been spiked?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for...
Huh? Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But who... That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and...
But why would they go after us?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did any...
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was real faint. Does that mean the
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing.
New intel? While you were...
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least... But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolve... Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. Oh, you...
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of...
You talk too much. Well, and we also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bond.
Don't worry, you two.
Time to go.
It's right up ahead, but let's make...
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted it.
Very good.
I shall find rooms.
Thank you, Malus. Now,
Time to go.
This is your...
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact,
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
to be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when
Your father...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend him.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If any, the closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
So that's why you're so...
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearance, I must know what really happened. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a hand.
Demoiselle, please.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our...
Wait! If Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something people love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
What? How could... never mind.
There is one other thing.
Oh! Her? Well, then... yeah... that's not the sort of thing...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but there was only ever one choice.
It's not that I don't understand.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed... All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share. Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master Callus's death, this won't do.
sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to... But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you...
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after...
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone.
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. I suspect that those behind this have already taken...
Does that mean...
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on if the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently. We should be able to find...
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? In that case, let's go tell...
No, it...
Follow the wind. Time to go. Time to go.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Please state your business here. The chief...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't...
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack joke...
No. What I meant to say is...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here...
All right, then. I'll let you through. The chief...
Thanks so...
Please, come in. It's all right. Please let me know.
So...
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an...
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal. There are no records of him either in the files...
Traveler?
Is that so?
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a...
And what? Are you trying to console me? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed in your eyes, the value of a human life. If you truly why didn't you give me the power to stop him from everything? Was it there are still so. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry.
You and my it's not so much that you can't feel, but oh well. And my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia,
I'm fine.
you're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went?
Now that I think of it, on the day my father
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to Poisson.
Yeah, we're gonna...
Do you want to go with me now? Or... Great.
Whoa, what a huge ship!
There's no need to be so surprised. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Paimon was confused why a group with such a history. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
Time to go.
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle. You said before that you still had some business.
About that. It's because you still remember, right, Malus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that.
Could you tell us a bit more about...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could...
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. As he oversaw Puissant, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. Not only that...
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealer. Recognizing that, my father decided to... The man's name was Jacques. That night, my father hosted a banquet, but then we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any... Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked. Precisely. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to You're right. We still don't know what happened. But
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past. I think this third... On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, Our opponent is insidious. Even though Spina de Rosula is lost, there is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and enlightened.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death? I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer for...
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation...
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. And the serial disappearances case. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time.
No, I don't believe it. He never...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful were still...
So he chose to die in silence.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for... I'm sure he'd be...
That fool. No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way... But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Malus, what was the key?
It's the location where Synth... When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence. But if you want to use it again,
Why? If we know where the...
you mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious... There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. But a single visit to their headquarters would be... The worst case would be that we...
Then, in that case...
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
That's true. But things are different now. It should...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought...
I am the butler, after all. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to when I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative the first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost, there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, there were only...
So, they're like a sister...
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina de Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. To think that the enemy we've been...
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quad.
Of course. And thank you.
You're too kind, my... And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson. If it might help, you could also pay...
Oh, thank you so much, Malus.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.